All right, we're rolling. Hope it doesn't scare anybody when I do that. What's happening, peeps? Been an interesting day today. Today is May 13th, Tuesday, May 13th. How y'all doing? Shout out to Mark for mentioning me on his show. Unfortunately, I had already signed off to start working on this show. So I didn't get to see it live, but someone in the Telegram group let me know, so I went back and looked it up. So thanks, Mark. Looking forward to doing a show with you in the near future. All right, so apparently when you're over 50 and you cough too hard, things break. No, I'm just kidding. A couple weeks ago, I rebuilt the suspension on my Jeep, and apparently I did something to the tendons in my arm that when you bring your wrist back or articulate your hand, they're inflamed somehow. So now I'm on all kinds of like steroids and crap, and I'm a little cranky, a little not feeling good. So I'm very flushed from all this medicine. So not a happy camper today, but I digress. Here we are. So let's dive into it. So big things happening. As soon as Trump landed in Saudi Arabia, man, it just started. So we have this post from Digital Swolger, I guess he lifts weights. SWOLLJER. Swisher 1776 posted this. So the title is "The King Just Touched Down in Saudi Arabia," referencing Trump and the sword dance his first term. So Trump's wearing a purple tie. He's got purple stairs coming down off of Air Force One, purple carpet going from the stairs to meet the Crown Prince. This isn't just a photo op, it is a command signal. The Saudis roll out the royal treatment for the commander-in-chief with the purple. Purple isn't just a color of royalty. Purple is also a color of supreme authority. Dominion, control, power. Let's see, what else does he say here? Trump didn't just walk down those stairs. Trump descended like a king returning from a battlefield. This is the global power move. The optics here are undeniable. This is a reset. This is a realignment. This is sovereignty in action. Every handshake, every step, every frame of this moment is a signal to the world that the old guard is finished and the alliances are shifting. The balance of power is being redefined. Now, interestingly enough, in the last few days, there's been a lot of talk about Israel and saving Israel for last. So let's see. Earlier today, this was from 6:30 or 7:38 a.m. I don't know what time zone, but from Disclosed TV, it says just in Netanyahu. I hope I'm saying it right. Says Israeli military will enter Gaza with full force in the coming days to destroy Hamas, and there will be no situation where we stop the war. This is very, very key to what's going on in world politics right now. So we all know how Israel supposedly influences all the things that happen in the United States. We know that many of our elected representatives, aka Congress, Senate, all that stuff, have dual citizenship with Israel. And then we had the Q drop, saving Israel for last. So it's it's interesting to me that they're doubling down on destroying Gaza. I mean, it goes beyond just a skirmish or a war. I mean, they are literally bringing Gaza down to rubble, razing men of stealth to the ground. And then, so you also have to, you can't, if you're a human being, or you're a human, and you have any conscience at all, you have to look at the complete genocide that's going on there. And I'm not for one or the other. I don't, this is not my wheelhouse. But my kind of forte for the show is that I look at everything and then try to draw connections to it and find out where we're at. So Israel's doubling down on destroying Gaza, but at the same time, Trump goes to the Middle East, but he doesn't go to Israel. He goes to Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and then he's meeting with the king of the royal family of Qatar. They're also gifting the United States, and that's a key difference. They're gifting the United States this 747 on steroids because Air Force One is getting old. And even though we have, our B-1 bomber, or not B-1, the B-52 bombers from the 50s and 60s, and they're still flying, and all that's great, but the amount of upkeep that it takes to keep them flying and, improving their avionics, their systems, their engines, and all that stuff is astronomical. And then when you look at the role that Air Force One plays, obviously, flying the president around, they need a new jet. So the royal family of Qatar has gifted the United States a new Air Force One, basically. So going back to drawing these conclusions, I can't see that Trump is going to turn a blind eye and let Israel destroy Gaza and do their best to obliterate anyone who claims to be a Palestinian. I think it's all connected. There's a reason that he went to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and not planned any visits to Israel. So those are the two Trump ties that I wanted to discuss. So let me get back over here. I was going to do this live, but I don't know. I'm not feeling up to it. I can't type and do things to keep up with you guys in chat, so we're just going to have to deal with this for today. Just now from 589 Bull on Twitter, Iraq's trade bank just passed JP Morgan's Chase Global System test, scoring a 99.6 in automated cross-border transfers. Why would they be doing that? This is the green light. Baghdad's financial infrastructure is now elite tier. Dollar clearing, euro settlement, instant global rails. The RV isn't a question of if. This is proof the system is already live, just waiting for the switch. So, one of my last videos, we were talking about ISO 222, and if that's how I read it in my brain, and that's how I say it's 20,020. ISO 222 is easier for me to say. If you don't like it, move on. So my theory is the ISO 222 is already up and running. I think it's another word for the QFS system. It's all blockchain technology, and it's going to use XRP as the vehicle in which monies are transferred through the international cross-border payments. So, again, when we go to the bank and we cash in, we're just going to use dinar as an example. We cash in dinar or whatever currency, we're going to get paid from that bank for the amount of the difference in the exchange rate. They will send for the money from Iraq, Vietnam, wherever, and via this system, QFS, ISO 222, XRP, it's going to be instantly moved from one nation to the other, to this bank, to us. So they would not be doing all these things if the RV wasn't imminent. So, again, leading back to this post from 589 Bull, I believe that's the point he's trying to get across. Let's see, what else do we have? All right, so another announcement from Iraq is they paid salaries again, more than likely at 1310. I'm not sure. I haven't had an update on that, but it was a 17-day delay. We know what 17 comms mean. And disbursement is set to begin Wednesday the 14th and conclude by Sunday the 18th. So they could still flip the rate in that period of time, is I guess my point. Saudi Crown Prince says that he is working to increase U.S. investments from $600 billion to $1 trillion. Saudi Arabia is key in all this. It's from Zoom News, 17-day delay. KRG Ministry of Finance has announced the April salary payment will schedule for civil servants and security personnel. Disbursement set to begin Wednesday. So another one. We got over here. And then this goes back to this morning when President Trump officially signs a strategic economic partnership with Saudi Arabia. So guys, things are happening. Big thing with Iran, Trump keeps emphasizing that he would rather Iran agree to the nuclear disarmament and come to the table and be a part of prosperity rather than be bombed back to oblivion. He's prepared for either one. Our bombers are over there. Our military is placed strategically. He's basically presenting them the two pills. Red pill, you do what we want with your nuclear program. You come to the table, you drop your 4 zeros on your currency, have your currency reinstated just in time for Iraq to revalue their currency, and then you get to participate in that. Or, blue pill, we bomb you back to oblivion. So, you want to go back to the Stone Ages, we're happy to oblige you. So, choose wisely. I think they're going to push back, and I think, they're going to push away from the radicalism. I think they will agree to the nuclear disarmament, and I think they'll come be a part of the RV family. That's my 2 cents on it. From Mark, I think it was a couple days ago, he said that from some of his reliable sources that he's hearing that the Venezuela Boulevard is going to be included in the first basket. So holders of Boulevard, that's good news. And possibly if Iran agrees to the red pill theory and says, okay, we're going to turn off the nuclear power plant or whatever it is, nuclear weapons development, and we're going to come to the table and we're going to play nice and everybody's going to get along, then the real and their other currency, whatever it is, will be included in the first basket also. So, good news. So, a lot of talk about the deletion of the zeros again. Now Iran's saying they want to drop 4 zeros on their currency because, believe it or not, their currency is worthless. So dropping their 4 zeros would bring it in line with Iraq when they revalue. So I know I've had videos out there before and I've explained this. Everyone's explained this, but people still don't get it. Deleting the 3 zeros from, we're just going to say dinar, the Iraqi dinar, isn't lopping off 3 zeros and now your 25K note is worth $25. That's not how it works. So when you take 1310 and convert that to US dollars, it is worth 0.00076. Okay? So, decimal point, when you delete the 3 zeros, you're moving that decimal point 3 places. So it goes from 0.00076 to 76 cents. That's a huge increase in value. So if you're not a math scholar, I have 76 cents, but it's got 3 zeros in front of it. That's worthless. It's not worth anything. But when you remove those, and I'm not flipping anybody off, so when you remove those 3 zeros and you put the decimal point here, all of a sudden you have 76 cents. So your monopoly money is all of a sudden worth 76 cents. Rounded up to a dollar for dollar. That's parity. Okay? We believe that it will be reinstated to their currency level when it was devalued at 322. But what happens when they do that? When it goes to 322 from 2003 or whenever they devalued it, you have to account for inflation from that date and time when they devalued it to present day. So that's going to give it an increase. So more than likely it's going to land around 387, somewhere in that ballpark. Okay. So that now you've reinstated the currency, the rate. Now the RV part, the revaluation, comes after the reinstatement. So once it's been reinstated, anything beyond that is a revaluation. So that's when people, are throwing out numbers, $6, $7, $7.60, $13. Those are all revaluation dollars. So we just have to wait and see how it rolls out. Another common thing that you'll hear in Dinarland is the managed float. So what does that mean? Managed float from 76 cents, it could float up to the reinstated rate, 322 plus inflation. That would be a float. If it's a managed float, it'll go 76 cents to 1 to 1. And then from 1 to 1, it may go up to 225. And then from 225, it may go to 322. And then just for inflation, 387, somewhere in there. It's completed its float cycle. Okay? So once you're at that reinstated rate plus inflation, once you move past that, then you're in RV land. That's when it's revalued. Many people don't believe we're going to have to go through all those processes. The only way I could maybe see that happening is if Iraq does what they call a knee-jerk rate change. So if they all of a sudden in countries say, okay, citizens, we've deleted the 3 zeros. Your currency is now worth 76 cents US dollars. Come into the bank, bring your suitcase money and mattress money, turn it all in, get it in the bank, and it'll do its magic in there, and you'll have your new rate. They immediately suck in all the currency or the majority of the currency off of the street. And then once they are satisfied with that, then they flip the switch and go into the RV, the revaluation. So those are just some theories on how it could roll out. The important thing is if it just actually rolls out. In whatever way, shape, or form that happens, I'll be tickled pink. So if it went today for 76 cents, I'd be in the car right now heading to the bank. So not that I would cash it all in, but I would do enough to change life in the immediate. All right, so let me look through here real quick and see what else we have. If you didn't catch Militia Man's latest video, I would highly recommend that. I think it came out last night. He goes into the Iran deleting the zeros and a lot of other deep dive things. And then Mark's show today, he went into his news. So things are happening. Things are progressing forward. I know that many of us has been in this for a long time, and some of us have been in there, not me personally, but a lot of the people who follow this channel have been in it for 20 years. And for 20 years, they've been hearing, oh, it's close, this is it, it's close, or it's happening, or all this stuff, especially if you listen to TNT Tony. But when you read what's coming out of Iraq, when you connect the dots to what's going on in Trump's world, when you see what's happening in the Middle East, all these, it's like, 5 super highways. Have you ever driven through Dallas-Fort Worth and the craziness of their highway system? You'll have multi-level lanes, overlapping lanes, and it looks like a bowl of spaghetti. And that's what we've been following for all these years. We've been trying to, make the roads converge, but it just leads you all over the place. Well, now I think all the roads are starting to converge into one, and that's where we're at. We're seeing historic things happening in the Middle East. And again, I've said this so many times, you're living in history right now that history books one day are going to write about, and you're seeing it play out in real time, and that's painfully slow. It's like watching paint dry. But people, you just gotta hang in there. We are close. It's getting tangible. When you're seeing things, the painful bumps and skirmishes and wars that are going on in the Middle East, it's like those last labor pains when, your wife or spouse or somebody is giving birth. And it's time to bear down and push and get this baby out of there. That's like 6 months overdue. That's what it feels like. So that's where we're at, man. This is like that last push across the finish line. You're a relay racer, and someone has just handed you the baton, and now it's your time to, give it all you got and get to the finish line. I believe that's where we're at. So I know this has kind of been all over the place. My excuse is I'm heavily medicated. But I digress. That's where I think we're at. Let's make soon again. And let's get across this finish line. if you're living on peanut butter, scrape that jar for all it's worth. Your time's coming. And I know it's tight. I know it's tough. I know people are dying before seeing this thing come to fruition. I have had family members pass away. It's hard. It's hard. It's painful. It hurts. It sucks. But there's a plan to everyone's life. I don't know it. You don't know it. God knows it. And we're on this journey for a reason. Okay? When you, not to borrow a line from Spider-Man, but too much, people who are given much power have much responsibility. And especially people who have not been in a position to financially help people before. You came to this investment for a reason. And when you are finally handed the fruits of your work and your patience and your determination to see this thing through, don't squander it. Everyone's going to go out and buy their dream car and dream house and all that stuff. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. You've earned it. But you also have a higher calling now. You also have a higher responsibility to your fellow man. Even the ones who called you crazy and stupid. You have a higher responsibility now to strategically help those people. Set up charities. Do something to give back to humanity. Because just because we've endured all this for these years doesn't give us the right to become assholes and, sport some big Rolex while you go to a family function and you have family members who can't pay their bills or are going to get evicted. You now have, once you get this, you're going to have a responsibility to help people. Don't turn a blind eye to that because we all know about karma. All right, getting off my soapbox. I don't know where that came from, but hey, I just believe we're that close and things need to be said. Okay? As always, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your time watching these videos. It makes all the work worth it. I know I don't do them every day, or I don't have the rhythm that Mark and these other guys have. But hopefully when you watch these videos, there's something of value for you guys. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your time being here watching. Please like, share, subscribe, pass the videos around. On my channel, I do offer a couple of there's a join button, and I get blown up with comments. So if you join there, somehow it triggers an algorithm to highlight your comment to me. I do my best to answer everybody's comments, but I always miss them. I can't remember all they're set to the lowest dollar amount that YouTube allows. If it's interesting to you, great. If not, that's perfectly fine. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm just offering things for if I've ever missed your comments, there's a way to get them. That's it. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos and spending the time to watch them. Again, I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully next time you see me, I won't be on all this stuff. All right, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.